as an engineer, I know how the algorithm works. Why did you have to say as an engineer here, man? Like, you can just say that's just how the algorithm works. It feels like he just slams it into everything. What the? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased because Muta has like on me so much for no real reason when I was nothing but nice to him always. And he just chose to weirdly become like Destiny's bestie, perhaps at the worst, most inopportune time. What is this? I found a 1 minute version of the Mutahar drama slot video, but 1 minute might still be a waste of time. Okay, let's hear it.
38 minutes. Mutahar has allegedly been lying about being an engineer for over a decade. Creator Nikandros dug through Mutahar's old videos and exposed that Mutahar never finished university. He dropped out after just 1 semester and has no engineering or computer science degree. He showed clips where Mutahar admits it himself. In one video, Mutahar said, "I'm a dropout myself. I've never finished university." And Mutahar also said in another video, "People think I'm like some effing crazy degree holder. It's like, no. I would have been way more in university depth if I went that effing route." He had constantly called himself a computer engineer, cybersecurity expert, and over the years, he's contradicted himself a lot, sometimes saying he was a video engineer. He said in one video, "I'm a video engineer now." Other times, investor or CEO. Yeah. But in reality, he's just a self-learned tech guy and a full-time YouTuber who uploads daily. And in Canada, where Mutahar lives, it's allegedly illegal to call yourself an engineer if you're not licensed, which Mutahar allegedly isn't. "I'm a computer engineer." Reminds me of another quote. "I used to work at Blizzard for 7 years.
Oh no. Oh no. Wait, you can't just like lie about being an engineer in Canada? That's kind of crazy that that's illegal in Canada. What the I mean, great. That's funny. I mean, there was a time where computer people were getting hired up the ass without degrees. Canada's pretty weird about engineering. They have like a ceremony where you graduate. It's like that for many professions. I would give it a watch. He lied about having an engineering job. I heard that he lied about being an engineer. I heard he lied about like his degree. I heard he also, I heard he was like lying about like how much he was working in general. Like it was an impossible amount. Like he was just basically saying that like he was basically presenting this reality that is impossible to exist.
Even that time, he disavowed his longtime friend, Nakstaku. But then he took the video down and apologized. Apparently, he overreacted to a video criticizing him for watching lowly hentai with Nakstaku, and not for anything else.
Wait, you showed porn in those videos?
That's a video I'm still working on, and this video you're about to watch right now is a little appetizer I've cut out of its body of research, because it was getting too bloated as it is. Anyway, despite saying he would quit drama, not only did Mutahar return to drama, he decided
I get watching other people's videos all you're good at. I've never defended or backed the Israeli genocide or innocent
to join forces with Ethan Klein to go after Hassan Piker. It's an odd choice because Ethan doesn't exactly have the highest opinion of Mutahar.
Do you have the part where Mutahar runs outside with a gun?
I don't, but
I'm like, dude, these people are insane. Boogie's not even the craziest one in that room still. There's a point where Mutahar goes, "Oh, is someone stealing my car?" And he runs outside with a gun. And then he comes in 30 seconds later and goes, "Oh no, it's chill, it's just my brother."
Wait, he just walked into a corner of his room that wasn't visible on camera and cocked an airsoft pistol? Wait a minute. These guys hated when I responded to a hater that was doing a death threat to me in kind, though. They farmed that into oblivion.
Oh my God.
Like, this pseudo badass weird shtick he's doing is not it. And frankly, he's so mean-spirited and nasty, and he has this weird thing where he needs to act like cool and that he's so successful and rich. He tells Boogie, "Dude, why don't you upload more? I upload every day and YouTube's not even my job." I was like, shut the up, bro. I think he thinks his real job is being a day trader. I might be wrong about that, but I mean, that's pretty funny. But like, yes, it is. Shut up, bro. Uploading every day. Ugh, I really got turned off by Mutahar in that one, man. Really did.
So Mutahar is a poser, and he lies about having a job outside of YouTube.
No, he's talking about Mutahar.
Accusations. But
who he's now good friends with.
Who has the time to watch through over a decade of videos and streams to check if he's telling a consistent story? I certainly don't, but I know a much faster way of achieving the same end result with only a few hours of effort. I can just search all of his video transcripts at once, for certain keywords and timeline the claims he's made.
I play video games and scratch my balls most days when I'm not working. I wake up, I scratch my balls, I do my job, and then I play some video games. I wake up, scratch my balls, play some Mass Effect, make a video.
That's me.
And, like,
I
do
was
some
on
of
this
my
pod.
stock work, and that's it. I wake up, I scratch my balls, and I play some Mass Effect. Okay. I wake up every day. I do my job, I scratch my balls, I play around with Linux, some video games, and that's my life, dude.
Before we get into it, isn't this stalking? Isn't this a violation of privacy? No, I am going by information.
When is that gun threat trial the real YouTube lawyer said was going to happen? How are you going to react to that one? Yeah, I don't know. Do those people that like constantly farm drama or go to the drama farms like the slop tubers and shit, do they ever go, hey man, remember when you said this is like your profession, like you're a lawyer, and then like you said that there would be criminal repercussions for this, and then like that never happened? Do they ever call into question the authority that these guys have?
Mutahar has made public through pieces of media he's voluntarily published on his YouTube channel, or public media appearances he has consented to. I'm also using information from a video that shows his LinkedIn page, which is something he seems to be cool with. He can do whatever he wants in his private life, but if he's claiming to be a doctor or an engineer to make his perspectives more valuable to an audience, validating the truthfulness of these claims about his life become a matter of public interest. If a history channel was receiving undisclosed funding from a foreign state, publishing that information would be in the public interest, even if that knowledge was gained through violations of privacy. Violating someone's privacy to humiliate them by exposing their porn browsing habits would not be in the public interest. But I haven't gone there, and I don't need to. I also completely disavow and denounce any kind of harassment or actual stalking behavior. Based on my findings, Mutahar has consistently claimed that YouTube isn't his job.
Hey, YouTube isn't my job. Thank God my job isn't YouTube.
YouTube is not my job.
YouTube is not my job. YouTube is not my job.
YouTube is not my job.
YouTube is not my job.
I use YouTube as a hobby. This is not a job for me, okay?
He works a regular 9 to 5.
Like, I work a regular job every day. I go to my office, I work, I come home, I cut together the video that I recorded the night, or 2 nights or whatever before, and I post that on the internet. It is a therapeutic, fun thing for me.
So what is that job?
Oh my God, remember when you were getting flagged for the social battery thing and he doubled down on Twitter after finding out the context, talking about how YouTube isn't his job? You said he was being contrarian for the sake of it? Wait, Mutahar did that? I don't even remember. He jumped on that too? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Mr. 9 to 5, dude.
If you ask Mutahar's fans, they think he's a cybersecurity expert, an IT professional, a video editor. Ethan said day trader. There seems to be an awful lot of uncertainty about this definitely
Clearly
real
he has
job
level 100 OPSEC and has successfully hidden his true job through multiple VMs.
that Mutahar has. Mutahar's also insisted throughout his career that he is an engineer.
I'm an engineer.
I'm a engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm an engineer.
I'm a engineer. I'm an engineer.
I'm only an engineer. Oh, I'm an engineer.
I'm an engineer. I'm just an engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm just a engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm a engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. As an engineer, being an engineer, I don't have to tell you as an engineer. I'm just a dumb engineer as an engineer. My engineer asked, but as an engineer, so I'm just a dumb. As an engineer, I'm an engineer. As somebody that is an engineer, as an engineer. I'm saying I'm the #1 engineer as an engineer. As an engineer. All right, as an engineer, I'm just an engineer. Speaking as somebody that is an engineer, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer.
But there's multiple types of engineers, so what kind of engineer is he?
I'm a fucking computer engineer. I'm a computer engineer. Dude, I'm a fucking computer engineer.
I'm a YouTuber. Why are you asking me?
Code.
And I'm just like a computer engineer by default.
Like, I'm a fucking computer engineer. I'm a computer engineer. You want to talk about cyber warfare? I'm a computer engineer by trade. I'm a computer engineer. I'm a computer engineer.
I think he's a computer engineer.
I'm a computer engineer. No, I'm a computer engineer, okay? I'm a computer engineer. I'm a computer engineer.
In the United States, people throw around the word engineer like candy, but in Canada, it's a bit more protected, especially in Ontario where Mutahar lives. Now, I do want to give the disclaimer that I'm not a lawyer or a Canadian. I'm just a guy who looks stuff up online, and based on what I've read, it's actually illegal to call yourself an engineer if you are not a licensed engineer. The Ontario Engineering Regulatory Body, Professional Engineers Ontario,
Wait, that's real? That's like an actual... Bro, Canada is nutty, dude. I think he's a computer engineer. Buddy, you're going to want to keep watching the video. I mean, he said it so many times. What would lead you into believing that he's not a real engineer? I think he's calling the people that he's talking to engineer, and he's claiming to be a computer. Here's a clip of him calling you out.
So this was a period when like Hassan Piker, a big popular communist socialist commentator, he made a take where he was like, after streaming for like 12 hours, my batteries get drained. And I was just like, I don't really agree. Like I worked in a 60-hour work week where it was like, bro, you come home from work, it's like, dude, I want to out, right? Like to be a YouTuber and streamer, like a podcaster, bro, we had like the most blessed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Best job in existence.
Best job I ever had. Best job I ever had.
You know what my days are like? Like it's literally, and it's thankful to a lot of people that watch me. It's waking up, scratching my ass, and going like, "Damn, I want to talk."
Bro, he's always scratching his balls and his ass. What? Why is his balls and his asshole so scratchy? He just seemingly shoves that in to every conversation, even this 50-second video. Why the f is he always scratching his dick and balls, brother?
Talk about some crazy today, right? Like that's the best job in existence, right? So
I agree with this, by the way.
I get it. You're streaming for 12 hours a day. You probably don't want to say hi to anybody afterwards, right? But it's like, dude, that is the kind of social optics you probably never want to have.
I like that even when he understood the context of it, he was still clapping.
Aims to take offense to even titles like software engineer being used instead of software developer, but they do make an exception for terms like train engineer, broadcast.
It's illegal. It's also illegal to call yourself an interior designer in Ontario if you aren't registered with the DDA, which is weirder. What the f? Bro, Canada is crazy, dude. I guess like they have that degree of regulation in order to like avoid people conning people. You know what I mean? Oh, ironically enough, it's literally because people like Mutahar claim that they're an engineer and then try to convince people about whatever the f they're convincing them about. And I assume the regulation exists specifically to stop that from happening, which is, to my American mind, that sounds so insane. But perhaps that's the reason why we have so many con men in this stupid country where a reality TV star can become the goddamn president by convincing millions of Americans that he's going to run the country like a business. You got 7 bankruptcies. What do you mean you're going to run the country like a business? We're seeing how he's running the country like Trump Steaks or Trump University or the Trump Casino right now, molesting the money.
Broadcast engineer or sound engineer, which are not professional engineers in the same way that a computer engineer or a civil engineer.
Yeah, it's the same in Norway. It prevents comment and forces the state to provide the education. You're all run by comment. Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. I like when you're, as an American, this sounds insane. Okay, at first glance, it sounds insane. And then you realize what America looks like. And you're like, oh, I get why there is regulation around this kind of thing, because we have no protections whatsoever surrounding this. And by the way, a person that would try to implement this as regulatory legislation would get shot. Okay? Like there is no shot that this could ever be implemented in a country like America. Hell yeah, baby. We're destroying OSHA too. It YOLO.
Would be. Calling yourself a computer engineer to a public audience is like saying that you're a civil engineer or a mechanical engineer. You might as well call yourself a doctor or a therapist. For Mutahar to be a licensed computer engineer, for him to be able to legally call himself a computer engineer or an engineer in general, he would need a 4-year.
Even if you graduate from university, you can't call yourself an engineer until you take an ethics test after enough time in an engineering job. Oh my Lord.
Degree, 4 years of training, and to pass the National Professional Practice Exam. If he had just a degree, then he could only call himself a computer engineer graduate. This is where things become a little bit difficult, because Mutahar is apparently not just a computer engineer.
I'm a video engineer now. I think I know how this works. Speaking
okay, I think he was like jokingly saying
that. Like, if I wasn't a computer science engineer, I wouldn't speak about Elon being an idiot. But as an engineer, yeah, I'm going to call him an idiot because he does do idiotic statements. This
controversial opinion. I don't think you need to call yourself a computer science engineer to be able to call Elon an idiot. Additionally funny that he chose to slam that in there as a qualifier, but I guess whatever works, you know?
This is why as a cybersecurity engineer,
a computer engineer is very much a real thing. But a video engineer or a broadcast engineer isn't a real professional engineer. While computer science graduates often work in software development, sometimes called software engineering, computer science isn't an engineering discipline. So computer science engineer doesn't really make sense. Cybersecurity engineer is once again using the word engineer.
Not certain, but I'm sure with the illegal cars of X job is about doing so in the context of offering services or signing contracts. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not illegal to just say you're an engineer randomly. However, it may be problematic if he's leveraging his reputation as an engineer to sell a sponsorship. For instance, I'm not a lawyer. Yeah, I think the only way that, I mean, he's just using it as a prop up tool. I don't know if he actually does do that, but he's just using that to like prop up his arguments, to just be like, I'm an engineer and that's why Elon Musk is stupid.
As just a job title.
This is normal outside the US. You can't call yourself an attorney or a lawyer without being admitted to the bar, or a doctor without a degree. Other countries extend this to other jobs, e.g. engineer in Canada, plumber or electrician in Australia.
Mutahar clearly wants the prestige of being perceived as an engineer, given that he's been calling himself an engineer for the past 10 years. And he uses this title to make himself more authoritative.
But I'm an engineer. I know how this stuff is going, so I'm not even speaking out of pocket right here, okay? If you want to disagree with me, feel free, but you're actually wrong. As somebody who is a computer, engineer.
Oh my God, why has he said he's an engineer so much? That's the law in the US too. Come on now. In California, you can say you're an interior decorator, but not interior designer unless you're accredited. That's the same in the US chatter. Someone else said that as well, but I'm willing to, like, I don't think it's I've never heard of anybody like being unironically prosecuted for something like this. In America, you can say you're a doctor, you literally, it might be illegal, but sure as plenty of people lie about it. Look at every chiropractor, for instance. Every single chiropractor does this. They put on the scrubs and then they talk about how vaccines make you autistic and gay. Okay. Virtually every chiropractor in the United States of America has done some version of what I'm talking about, some version of what Mutahar is doing here.
Somebody who understands computer code, for instance, hearing Elon talk about computers and anything code related is actually mind-bogglingly stupid.
It's not clear what kind of an engineer he is. So, what education does he have?
Like, it's a really good explanation of why, like, I picked engineering as, like, the road to go down when I was studying. I'm like...
So, he would have an engineering degree.
I went to university.
I don't think you've mentioned your actual poli-sci degree, even in the context of political commentary, as much as Muta has mentioned his fake engineering degree and certification. Yeah, I don't ever talk about my degree at all. I don't even talk about, like, who gives a shit, Maybe I should. I feel like libs respond to that more. I'm like, I have a degree in this. This is my degree. This is what I've brought it up when people have asked me, damn, you should sometimes. Yeah, I should be like, I have a poli-sci degree. I have a diploma. I graduated with honors. I'm a political engineer. Once a month? No, with his frequency. I should be doing it with the frequency that he's doing it, which is seemingly every video. Like, as a computer science engineer, I think you should sit down when you're pissing. It's like, you didn't need to qualify that. Why did you have to bring up your fake degree / fake profession to explain something that's utterly irrelevant? He literally said, I'm a political science engineer. I'm a political science major. And as a poli-sci degree holder, with honors, by the way, I think Elon Musk is not so smart.
For computer sciences, and that's it. Education background, asking because a lot of CS knowledge. Yeah, well, I did computer engineering when I went to college. That's what I did.
Okay, so at least a computer science degree.
I thought when I got into university for a while, and I dropped out like a semester in because I was like, okay, no.
Oh, he dropped out after a semester.
Like, I'm a dropout myself. I've never finished university, but I'm not going to dog on like school. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to learn to be valuable. Yeah, if you're going to be an engineer, if you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, if you're going to...
Bro, I've spammed your education history and you always ignore me. You're a cum laude, bro. It gives you credibility. Nazi mold fans think you're a college dropout and you have low IQ. I've shut up people in arguments online posting your SS screenshot of your education history. They're Nazi mold fans. Who gives a shit? That's so funny. That's like such a silly appeal to just be like, oh, dude, I graduated with a poli-sci degree with honors. I feel like, who gives a yeah, as a political science degree holder, I'm here to tell you that Asmongold is wrong. I don't think you need that. I don't think you need a poli-sci degree to know Asmongold is wrong, man.
To be in the STEM field, you need to go to university, okay?
I think part of the reason why is also because, like, I'm the only person with just an undergraduate degree in my immediate family. So I'm a little bit degree cucked in comparison to my dad, my mom, both PhDs, and also my brother, who has I think 2 masters at this point in engineering. He is a real engineer, by the way, unlike Mutahar. So yeah, even Will has a master's in horror. Yeah, I'm a BAS cuck, Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. That's all I got. And for years and years, my in horror, like the movie, like the genre, law, both parents PhDs, but you're taking care of them. So does it really matter? I mean, yeah, that's why it doesn't matter anymore.
You need to go to university to be an engineer, but Mutahar is a dropout. He has no degree.
Were you a computer science major? Yeah, that's what I went to for college for a little bit, dropped out of it, you know. I feel like there's a weird misconception. People think I'm like some crazy degree holder. It's like, no. No, I would have been way more university debt if I went down that route.
I sure wonder why people might have that impression.
Is it bad if you don't get a STEM degree? Look, I'm gonna sound biased, but STEM degrees all the way. I'm gonna sound biased because, you know, as an engineer, like, you know, you want to get the degree that's gonna get you a job, you know, a good job. Not saying other degrees can't, but like, you gotta be smart.
Sometimes he says he didn't always want to be an engineer.
My biggest thing was I didn't really want to be an engineer anyways. Growing up, I didn't really want to do anything. I actually wanted to do law. I didn't go through law. Honestly, I didn't even want to be an engineer when I grew up. Like, I wanted to be a lawyer for the longest times.
Other times he says he's a former engineer.
So like being a former engineer, like I virtualize like everything, so I like contain.
Even an ex-engineer.
The coolest ways possible. I'm like a ex-engineer.
But here's the thing. He's been saying he used to be an engineer, or that he worked as an engineer for 10 years.
I wanted to share sort of my engineering background with you. Okay, I worked as an engineer, all right, before I went into this. I think I know this. I also like to mess around with technology. I myself used to be an engineer before I went into the video editing route.
Mutahar started his channel in 2012, the same year he turned 18. By video editing route, he means that he switched careers after his channel began taking off.
And the interesting thing
Maybe he means he's a video editing engineer, which I know is not a real thing, but who knows? Maybe he's just engineering this narrative.
This whole YouTube stuff is it actually made me change my entire career choice. You know, I never really thought of myself as an individual who, I mean, I express talents in film production and everything, and, you know, I never really threw myself into it. I did stuff on the side even before YouTube as well. But this really changed me, and it made me more passionate in the whole, you know, video production side too. So now that is my field of choice. Now I work as a video editor. For those of you who don't know what I do outside of YouTube, I do that. I work as a video editor for my own post stuff.
All the programming, cybersecurity, penetration testing work he talks about early on are jobs he supposedly did before he did YouTube, and he didn't like doing it.
Before this, I was a depressed individual, and I was going to go through a certain set path in my career and just go through that and move on, right? And there was a point where I really didn't think there was much else. I was going to go through the motions and everything. And then, you know, to cut down on the stress, and I still have stress issues nowadays, but, you know, back then I had a crazy amount of depression and stress issues. And so to counteract that, I decided, you know, why not do YouTube? And so, you know, one night I went onto the Google Create account and did it, and, you know, and then we started making videos. I told you guys, I'm a guy who used to code bank applications. Really boring. Now I'm a dude who cuts stuff together, all right? Who edits stuff, you know, who does stuff for film, TV, all that stuff. And I can't stress to you all how important that is to me. And you all have inspired me to go out and chase that dream. You all inspire me to sit in front of my computer and make a video when I have some off time, and I love doing it.
Baby Mutahar liked to edit videos, and after starting YouTube, he switched careers from computer engineering to film and television, and this is where his actual education comes in.
I worked in film and TV before I still don't have a fancy degree, okay? And there you go, I filmed it, alright? I used my film degree to something.
He calls it a film degree, but it's actually a 2-year broadcasting/videography diploma he got from Humber College between 2013 and 2015. If he went back to studying to get an actual engineering degree, he never mentioned anything about it. Not a single slip. Mutahar was never a real engineer, but he's been calling himself one for a decade because of tech jobs he supposedly had before 2013 or 2012.
Because I never tell people like what I do. Like I never tell people anything, right? Like I don't even tell people I'm not an engineer. I haven't been one for like years, like for eons at this point, right? Like in internet time.
What he calls him being an engineer is something he did for only a little bit.
I can imagine, like, for families, like, I mean, just an Indian family alone, it's like, son, you've got 3 choices for what you're doing, all right? You got 3 character classes, doctor, engineer, or maybe a lawyer, all right? Like, that's it. So, you know, I did not, well, I did one of them for a little bit, and then I just pretty much stuck to, you know, this life now.
Imagine if you worked as a mechanic in high school, and 10 years after quitting that job, you're still introducing yourself as a mechanical engineer. From 2015 to 2020, he claimed to primarily work as a video editor.
That's because I'm a editor in real life anyways, so ever since I became a video editor, and that was my job in life, I work as a video editor. You know, that's my job.
By trade, what I do for a living is video editing.
I wasn't always a video editor. Am I a passionate video editor? Do I like my job? Yes, I do. My job is video editing. I'm a video editor by trade. No, I'm video editor. You know, that's how I pay for the strip club and the home.
And initially called himself a video engineer.
I'm a video engineer now. I think I know how this works.
It's not a real engineering job, but he was still calling himself an engineer. In 2019, he conflated being a video engineer with being a computer engineer.
I'm a computer engineer, so
I guess, like, I'm trying to understand why he did this. Like, maybe he just didn't give a shit. Like, I ultimately don't think it's like the most consequential thing, but I know this is exactly the type of shit that people who normally watch commentary channels would love as like drama, you know? But I don't even understand why he said it. Cause it unironically, it doesn't matter. Even if he didn't say he was an engineer 1 million times over the course of an entire decade, I think his videos would still do well, you know? Like I have a degree which is applicable to what I do, ironically enough. He doesn't. I do, right? And yet there has never been a real moment where I've been like, this person is like if I say Asmongold is dumb or not knowledgeable about the issues he speaks on, it's not because I have a poli-sci degree and he doesn't. It's because he's saying dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what I care about. You know, I don't really care about a guy who is talking about how to, I don't know, do Linux stuff or whatever, in between talking about how he scratches his balls, like if he's a engineer or not. But other dumbasses will reference him as a software guy they heard it from. I just don't think that, I genuinely don't think that this would have, if he didn't have this at all in any of his videos, I don't think his career would have taken like a totally different turn, if that makes sense. Asian parents and their relatives pressure, bro, 100%. Don't underestimate the status of an engineer in South Asian families. I don't know if he did that for his audience. Yeah, but his family knows he's not an engineer, unless he's been lying to them. Imagine Mutahar's family found out that he was lying about being an engineer because they watched commentary YouTube. They watched this guy. They watched Nikandros and were like, oh my God, you're not an engineer? What the f? You better get your ass back to college right now. That's crazy. Dude, I need Mutahar's engineering to help me with these gray bars, dude.
So I really computer video engineer, whatever you want to call it. I'm one of those people, so.
Maybe this is what he says at family functions to avoid having to tell them his full-time job is making 5 videos a month about you. I don't think he's made that many videos about me. He does chirp quite a bit, but.
Again, totally different qualifications. One is an actual professional engineer, the other is a job title. In 2020, Mutahar claimed to be an exceptionally successful day trader.
Now, for those of you who don't know, one of my side hobbies turned basic, general second profession of mine is day trading, swing trading, whatever you want to call it. I like to sit in the mornings, sip my coffee, go on the NASDAQ, see what I can look pre-market, buy, sell, and be done by, 11 or something, and call it a day.
Oh, this is classic. Oh my God. He's just like, He's picked up all the worst things to lie about too. Oh, no.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's something that I've been doing for almost a year, give a couple months, and it's definitely a very it's a fun part of my lifestyle. I'm a very mathy guy. I do a lot of calculations in my head. I lose money, but I generally have an 80-85% success rate, and that's just the nature of this stuff.
In 2021, he claimed his job was trading and investing.
My job right now, I just sit around and trade and invest. That's what my job is.
But he was still an engineer or a computer engineer. Apparently his dad calls him an engineer who knows computers.
I'm sitting in the room, it's like, when it comes to computers, do you talk about it with my son? Do you act like an intelligent person? Because my son's a engineer, okay? If I'm wrong about computers, I'm gonna believe what my son...
If he didn't have this many instances where he has just like brought this up voluntarily, this video wouldn't even exist. If he just said it a couple times, like offhandedly, there would be no reason to make this video. But it seems like he said it so much. Why was he saying it so much? And by the way, the family function aspect kind of leans into the suspicion that I had, which is that he probably, is he lying to his family about it? Is that what it is? Bro, imagine one of his cousins shows his parents this. He's like, yeah, Mutahar's been lying about being an engineer this whole time. Did you know that? That's like, chat, is this real?
Says, because he's the engineer, not a doctor. Like, insane, dude.
But he also just sits at home and invests money.
I invest. That's my job now. I just sort of sit home and invest money.
Now, if I was ashamed of only being a YouTuber, that is the job I'd be claiming to have. When asked by guests on his podcast about his computer work, he claimed...
Bro is a straight up slop tuber. Why the f is he embarrassed about being called a YouTuber? It's not like being a YouTuber is not exactly like the profession it once was, like maybe 10 years ago, right? Nowadays, YouTubers are considered like legit. Saying you're a TikToker is considered silly and stupid. And I'm sure when in the next 10 years, Blorgzorg or whatever the AI boosted platform is the poppin' thing that Gen Alpha is inventing new languages on, is the new meta, people look back fondly at the TikTokers as like beacons of intelligence. You know what I mean? He wants to be perceived as smart. I guess it stems from, seriously, bro, in the global south, YouTuber is not a real job. Dog, he's in Canada. He's not in the global south. What are you talking about? He is a Canadian who kind of LARPs like he's an American. He speaks mostly to an American audience, it feels like. Yeah, global south, Ontario. It's the most global north you can get.
It's only a hobby now.
I don't know how much you want to delve into this, but like you do, so do you do computer stuff on the side, or that's your main thing?
I literally just invest money. Like I buy property and I invest, and that's all I do now.
He's a landlord?
At that point now, you're that big of a baller, Buddha?
I wouldn't say it's like baller. It's just like
Do you do programming? I don't know why that took me 3 different ways to ask that.
I do it it's more of a hobbyist thing now for me personally. I'm trying to like work around with consoles at this point, like reverse engineer that I have.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So that's what I'm into now. It's just like it all has become like a hobbyist thing for me at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like for me, I look at it, it's like woodworking and
Mm-hmm.
like those woodworking channels. I'm like, oh, this is just like me sitting down for 2 hours, like killing time and like working on a long form project, but not something that I would ever care to ever be bothering doing again, even as a career path. It's just too stressful.
Sure.
It's like,
yeah, his real job is the most difficult one, which is accumulating capital. No, you don't understand. My job is YouTubing is an easy job. Okay, being an influencer is an easy job. You know what the most difficult job is? Being a landlord, which is what? Just owning property and refusing to listen to my tenants when they go, please fix the AC. That's the real most difficult job of all.
Boring. Well, compared to anything that we do now, you know?
In 2023, he's calling himself an engineer a lot, just like before. But in March, he claims he just invests money again.
Were you into business before doing YouTube? No. After, like, you know, I worked and then...
Aren't these the same guys making fun of private software? Yeah, that's why that's why this guy's cooking them. Because one of the... Dude, I don't even know enough about the pirate software thing, but, like, it is crazy how much that's, like, captivated the attention of so many people online. because like randomly I'll see someone, what's the thing that they say to like on him? I worked at Blizzard for 25 years or something. What is it? Or like I am funny image. Internet, man, streamers literally do nothing and people give them money. Landlords hold my beer. It's called a solid investment. Property is the best way to grow your wealth. Oh my Lord. Did you watch the Meat Canyon on Pirate? No. The Pirate, you know what's crazy? The Pirate software stuff just, I did not, maybe it was because it was like the peak of like Israel's genocide or whatever, but like I didn't even see any of it. And now it's like, now I just see like remnants of it online. I see remnants of it online of people just like randomly posting it under like irrelevant. And didn't all of this happen because he ran away from a WoW raid or something? No, because he kept talking about stop killing games movement along that WoW thing. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that people are mad about, I think. It is just funny like how the dominoes fall. For me, my dominoes fell because I bought a house to live in with my family. But I guess there's a dumber way for people to yell at you over like a WoW raid. Don't get mad at me. I just personally, I'm 34. I never played WoW. So to me, it's just like seems like such a funny thing for the entire internet to turn on you and hold on to that anger and resentment. It's not the WoW raid, it's his behavior after. It usually is the behavior after. I'm just saying like the inflection point was the raid. You know what I mean? I get it. Because if he was just like, I f***ed up, I'm so stupid, I'm so sorry, this was messed up, and then moved on, I think like there just wouldn't be that much. But it was not a raid, it was just a dungeon. I don't even know the details. Your haters genuinely think socialism would be you moving to Oklahoma and bumming it out? No, they would find another thing to get mad at. My haters have ideological commitments to what they perceive as the best possible economic organization of society that benefits them. And they are genuinely fearful of ever even closing their eyes and entertaining an evolution away from the current economic organization of society.
It's pretty much like my job. Like I worked and then now I have enough money to like, buy property and like invest, and that's pretty much what I do.
In August, he gave the impression he still worked as an engineer.
All right, as an engineer, if I show up to my office and I f up, okay, I don't have a job anymore.
But then he also mentions working at his own company that does asset management and property development.
At our company, like not YouTube, but outside YouTube, like when it comes to our main work property and everything, like our like asset management, property development, stuff like that.
So before YouTube, Mutahar did the computer, programming, cybersecurity work he thinks entitles him to call himself an engineer. Between 2013 and 2015, he studied...
this is a crazy effort post.
His videography diploma.
Just look at
from
this.
2015 to 2020.
Bro busted out the ruler.
He's a video editor, and from 2021 onwards, he's a day trader, investor, and eventually the CEO of his own company that does asset management and property development. He's also calling himself an engineer the whole time. We already know he's not an actual engineer, but is he actually a business owner? Because there's some weird inconsistencies in the things he says about it as well.
As a boss, and I don't know, like, this is gonna sound like kind of
I too am an engineer.
I don't make jokes at the office. I don't make any jokes at an office. I am not this kind of Mutahar, okay? So to explain what kind of person I am, like at the office, I'm just like, how's work? What are we doing? What's the plan for today? Like literally, it's as matter of frank as I can be. I don't partake in jokes. I don't do any of that. And if I see up jokes, which I haven't seen, I stop that right there. I always have to you always have to be professional at your office. And sometimes you come across as like a deadpan, but it's better to be deadpan than, turn your office into like, what I mean is like, I never would have my office turn into like frat house workplace. Like it would never be a frat house.
He would never allow his office to turn into a frat house. But 8 months later...
To be fair, like there is a betting pool in amongst like my office friends, because we do talk about like which gig streamer's dying first.
Yeah, and
isn't that pretty fratty? Isn't that a up joke?
And if I see up jokes...
Does he even have an office? Is this real? Is he making that up too? Why does he have an office? I feel like a lot of this is just like him trying to make it seem like he's a more serious person or something. But I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I'm in the office right now. I'm in my office.
You know, which I haven't seen. I stopped that right there.
Maybe he just sucks at maintaining a professional culture. Could it be possible that Mutahar has been faking having a job all along? Doing daily uploads while being a CEO 9 to 5 is a pretty busy schedule, as Ethan said. When he was on the Unsubscribed podcast, Mutahar made sure to let everyone know he works 9 to 5 and that he's a very serious businessman.
Legitimately still have a 9 to 5.
Yeah, I have a 9 to 5.
Dude, he works in hours and hours. That's what, like, this is why I respect it. How many subs do you have on YouTube?
I think like 3.4 or 5 million or something. I don't know. I don't know the exact amount.
3.5, like 3.5 million. We'll say that. And you're still doing multiple 9 to 5s where you're running different businesses. You were talking about Q4
I'm the
being
CEO of our own
busy.
company. Like I'm the CEO of like our own group. We do a lot of like property and like asset investment around where we live. We're getting into construction and everything too. So it's like for us, like my job is a 9 to 5 every day.
You upload how many videos a week?
A day. Like I upload it every day.
Jesus, this is why exactly, and why I always.
He really loves bathing in that praise, but it's not enough. He needs.
It's kind of funny because, like, I think I work more than he does. Like, I wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. I don't scratch my balls. I slam a espresso shot. I take a the entire time. I'm like trying to download as much news and information into my brain as possible. I go work out, or I take Kai to the park and I play basketball. And then I'm just live for, well, it used to be 8 to 10 hours a day. Nowadays, more so 7 hours a day. Okay. And then after that, I just watch anime and I pass out. I know, half day piker is what they've been calling me. Half day Hasanabi, part-timer. I do, like, Ted is right. When Ted was like, when Ted clocked me as the most Ashton Hall coded friend he has, he wasn't wrong. I am a little bit Ashton Hall coded in that, like, I am so Sigma grindset coded in the way that I exist. Dip your face in ice water now. Unk 2-0 for the full days. More like half the Nabi owned. Okay, chill.
To flex more.
Well, that's like the algorithm tell, right? Like when you're like an engineer and somebody's like, man, why does the algorithm keep feeding me? I'm like, bro, what's the last 10 things you watched? Gay porn? It's probably going to give you the...
As an engineer, I know how the algorithm works. Why did you have to say as an engineer here, man? Like, you can just say, that's just how the algorithm works. It feels like he just slams it into everything. What the maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased because Muta has like on me so much for no real reason when I was nothing but nice to him always. And he just chose to weirdly become like Destiny's bestie, perhaps at the worst, most inopportune time in Destiny's career. And he also is like aligned with that Israel defending lolly enjoyer VTuber. But like, and I'm watching a video that just like keeps showing that he keeps saying he's an engineer over and over and over again. But like, I don't understand why he just said that he's an engineer. He could have just said like, that's just how the algorithm works. Like, there is no, like, him qualifying that he's an engineer in that conversation does not make any sense, bro. I'm an engineer, and that's why I think hot dogs are sandwiches. As an engineer, I think like he just, as an engineer, I believe a taco could be considered a hot dog. Why did you say that? You didn't have to say that. You could have just said the take without saying that, you know, you believe the other thing. I don't know.
11 videos. I'm just saying.
Driving there, we were talking about cybersecurity because that's what you went to school for. You're like, homeboy's very smart. That was, you do actually business, and then YouTube is a
YouTube is always like the secondary side gig. It's
then he brags
I don't
about
think
his
YouTube is a
charitable
secondary
donations,
side gig.
and
I don't know
we
why
see
he
behind
says
the
that.
curtain how uninformed Mutahar actually is.
like for me, it's like the receipts. If I could tabulate them up every year, you know, like like during COVID, I probably gave away $200,000 of charity. And it was like out of my personal accounts. I don't write any of this off for taxes because I don't believe in writing off charity for taxes. I think it's a pretty shitty thing to do.
Writing off charitable donations is a thing to do. How? Why? All that means is that the money you donated is tax exempt. It means you can donate more money to charity, as Brandon Herrera says.
It's a pretty shitty thing to do. Well, for me, it's like
the more money you can write off, the more money you can keep from the government and spend it better, you know,
like,
putting it toward more charity.
The money that I
How can you be the CEO of a company, a serious businessman who knows his but you don't understand?
200 grand is tiny, by the way. I'm just saying. For all these guys, again, another thing I don't regularly boast about is my charitable contributions.
And basic accounting.
You want to talk about social battery, like 7 is when I get up. I got to be in meetings every day. My work day doesn't end until like 4 p.m. That's when I get like a chance to open up the Premiere Pro project file for the video, and I get to work on that, and then I get to upload that a day later. Like, I don't believe in days off. Like, I literally can't believe in a day off. Like, I'm always like jittery because I'm like, I want to do work. Like, I really do like enjoy doing work. Like, any day that I don't feel like I do my job, I cry about it. I'm like, this sucks.
He works till 4 p.m. every day and cannot take a day off. However, he seemed pretty happy to take a day off to watch a video game commercial from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on a Thursday.
I love to read comment sections in videos. That is probably the best part of doing YouTube content creation, is reading the comment sections of what a video has to offer. You know, as a content creator...
That's definitely a lie. No YouTuber does this. No, that's absolutely a lie. It's impossible. Like, the only way you can actually do something close to that is if you're Twitch streaming and you have chat up all the time. Like, no influencer is going to put themselves to that brain rot. And it's not healthy. It's not even productive.
The coolest thing is, like, when you see like 1,000 comments on a video, because I'm somebody that likes lurking internet forums and just reading internet discourse, right? Especially when it comes to topics I enjoy. So when you read 1,000 comments, you're like, all right, let me line up and get ready, boys. Let me read that all day.
This guy has a wife, he's a CEO, he works 9 to 5, and he uploads daily. How do you have the time to read YouTube comments from random people? Check this out.
You should be an upstanding, good citizen, okay? I wake up, I do my job, I come home.
Many of the instances where Mutahar says YouTube isn't his job are from videos where he rants about how unstable YouTube is as a job because of their never-ending policy changes. These things supposedly don't impact him. He does YouTube to relax, but he's always obviously upset in these videos. He consistently paints himself as a hard worker.
It sounds like you worked really hard in high school. You're talking about taking night classes, doing community service, like side jobs on the side. Like,
yeah, no, it's blurred. I'll help you understand.
He has this insane work ethic, but he's also curious about how Destiny can get so many things done.
I noticed that you do like a lot of canvassing, like you actually go out of your way. You've launched your own like podcast with like other people, The Bridges, and it's like, what is next really? Like, how do you kind of manage all that too? That's the other big thing that I kind of wanted to come into, because it's like, it really feels like you're a one-man show, but you're doing like a lot of
yeah. How do you slam so much sex pest behavior into your day-to-day activities? Glaze, brother. Holy.
You're managing it pretty well.
Destiny's too lazy to cook for himself. He's not the workaholic with an excessively tight schedule he can never pull back. If Mutahar's stories about himself are true, he should not be impressed by Destiny at all. Mutahar also often claims that he's an immigrant and equates that to him being poor or his family being poor. He will say his father had to go through medical school twice, not recognizing the privilege of being able to go through it even once. You don't need to come up with all these hardships you've been through. Everyone can already see your life is a struggle. You're not white, and you still can't say the N-word. He's got this other laugh about not buying anything expensive.
Very rarely am I trying to pay full price for any of this computer crap. You don't need to, all right? I don't overspend my money on crazy computer chairs. I think whatever I can get at Costco fits me fine enough. As far as my peripherals go, I have some SteelSeries headsets, keyboards, and a Logitech mouse, which I think is really awesome. If anything, I overspend on my monitors.
He's so frugal, but he also owns a luxury diving watch worth almost 10 grand. If you have an easy life because you were born to a rich family, just enjoy it. If you're rich, just enjoy being rich. Improve your production value, get some acoustic treatment, get some monitor arms, show your audience that if you...
True. I mean, this is definitely like, I don't know, launder your t-shirts. How many watches you got? I got an Apple Watch. I do not have an expensive watch. I'm not a big watch guy. I don't really with that.
Work hard and succeed in life, you can have nice things. Why not? So was...
Bitch, Apple Watches are expensive. Apple Watches are expensive, but these guys are talking about something entirely different. Like they're talking about like watches that are like 10 grand, 20 grand. You know what I mean? Like they're literally talking about like not even 10 grand, 20 grand. They're talking about like actually like they're talking about Patek Philippe, Rolly, like that. Like more than that. Yeah, it's like 50 to 100 grand.
Ethan Klein writes all along.
I upload every day and YouTube's not even my job. I was like, shut the fuck up, bro. But like, yes it is. Shut up, bro.
I'm not going to claim that Mutahar has absolutely no jobs beyond YouTube, even though the things he says about his business are very vague and inconsistent. However, he has
I thought someone gifted you a Rolex? No. Someone gave me a free Rolex hat that I wear a lot, or I used to wear a lot. I haven't really worn it that much. I have a Rolex hat that someone gave me. I love that hat.
Been lying about being an engineer for a decade, benefiting from the prestige, the authority, and the credibility that comes with that label. You don't call yourself an engineer dozens of times without specifying you're talking about programming jobs you did 10 years ago. He's clearly mostly just a self-taught tech enthusiast, not an engineer. He's seen as a cybersecurity expert or as a cybersecurity engineer, as he called himself.
This is why, as a cybersecurity engineer...
But when he assisted Nuxtaku in tracking down the V-Shoujo swatter, he fell for a basic social engineering trick, where the swatter, who was a minor, pretended to be one of Nux's fans who knew the swatter in real life, and fed them a bunch of bogus information.
I appreciate the random fan who was in that Discord server that actually contacted me and reached out to me about this stuff. Oh my god.
I can't get over that this is what this freak sounds like. Like every time I hear his voice for the first time, it feels like I'm listening to it for the first time ever. Why do all your ops sound like that for real? He looks like a dweeb in IRL. I don't know what he looks like IRL, but I don't want to know. Lest you forget, oh, don't do this.
Feeding vodka to poison cats, tossing the puss over.
Wait, hold on. Where's the Dr. Disrespect part? Isn't it like right here?
Type,
Wait, hold on.
Get on the by their pets, Peter. Get on the so you're a Twitch thought, nasty greedy witch thought, tier 3 grabbing bitch thought, pimping out your simp thought. I'm the Chad type.
He's the Chad type. I'm gonna kill myself. Stop.
Not gonna backstab type, 5 and streaming red type, 1K Andy mad type. Twitch is hey. Duh. Twitch is head type.
The best part is when he demands Dr. Disrespect.
Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah. I am an artist from Israel and this is my music. This is my art.
Respect. I'm a big advocate of absolute and true gender equality.
I am an artist. I am a music artist from Israel and this is my art. I'm a starving child, starving to death, and this is the very last thing I ever have to see. Goodbye.
You guys are legends, honestly.
V-Shoujo's cybersecurity expert knew this was the cybersecurity engineer did not. Mutahar doesn't do drama content anymore because it's all needless negativity, and YouTube isn't his job. However, he still weighed in on the pirate software drama after videos about it began going mega viral. What insight is Mutahar, the computer engineer who knows
he actually looks
all
like
of this, going to weigh in with?
Loadsy
Right
looking
now, as a video
motherfucker.
editor, I do more engineering now, so back-end
Wait, he actually looks like this? Asani actually looks like this? Loadsy looking. This is not. There's no shot that's him. No, he doesn't. That's some Swedish guy wearing his merch. The voice doesn't fit that. And also, that dude looks like a normal guy.
Programming for effects work. I'm working on a new codec for video right now for H.265, so we can actually transmit better video quality at higher resolutions. I'm actually doing something which I want to sell to Microsoft at some point later on. So I've been designing an AI toolset that basically you can inject, hopefully, into like video tools, and this is gonna be like video games or whatever, right? So it's like, let's say that let's say that Microsoft backwards compatibility, right? So I had this tool idea. This is kind of what I got going in my head. So I had this idea and I hope to one day sell it to Microsoft, right? So what I do is, since I have a really good video background, right? I've been designing neural stuff around it. So what I want to do one day is, you know how Microsoft has backwards compatibility, right? So would it be really fun if I could design a way that Microsoft could take the textures in their video games, right? So they could take the textures mapped in their video games and find a way to AI upgrade them. So like basically use a photo AI, like basically use an artificial intelligence that can scan across, you know, all these textures and just upscale them to like 4K, 8K, whatever they want to go to, and make games look better without needing, you know, developers to make it better, right? That could be an idea for me. It sounds simple on paper. Obviously, it's very, very, very time consuming to make it even as effective as you want.
He knows how to program video encoders. He knows graphics APIs and AI tools in 2019. What does he know in 2020?
Wait, hold up. Didn't he just describe what NVIDIA did? That's literally DLSS. Wait, did he actually do that before DLSS existed? Did he invent DLSS? Dude, he's a genius, dude. Yeah, he sold it. He sold it to NVIDIA. He's a trillionaire now.
25. What can he add?
One of the code bases that we're looking at over here is this falling particle. Now, there's a lot of numbers that are being dropped in here, and one of the things that you'll tend to see in Pirate Software's code is magic number abuse.
Nothing unique, nothing new, nothing that Coding Jesus didn't say in his video, which Mutahar keeps mentioning.
There's nothing wrong with having code, right? There's nothing wrong with being bad at it. I'm not a great coder either.
So I'm actually doing something which I want to sell to Microsoft at some point later on.
But I'm also not claiming to be this crazy guru hacker expert in the world.
Yeah, for the past 10 years you've been claiming to be an engineer, a computer engineer, a computer science engineer, a cybersecurity engineer. You with code.
Dude, I'm a computer engineer.
Okay, I'm choosing to believe him. After 31 minutes, maybe he is all those things. Have you thought about that? Yeah. Have you thought about that?
YouTuber, why are you asking me?
You do programming as a hobby, but when it comes to showing your knowledge, you only know the basics. Now you're here judging someone for inflating their credentials. At least Pirate Software's lies didn't break the law. At least he actually worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
Again, when you have an ego, you gotta be able to match it with the skill. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that skill is all the way there. Unless that skill is making a whole lot of spaghetti code. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I am out.
Man, what a great way to end a video. Let's check out some of those comments. We love reading the comments from regular commenters like Mr. Obvious. I wonder what he's into.
Mr. Obvious says, my feel win, I might as well be all for. And then we see some lolly here featuring some underage characters. Here's 2 more drawings of underage characters posted by Mr. Obvious. Kinda strange, isn't it?
Who is this? What is going on here? Stop here, maybe? I'm confused. What? This video took a weird turn. Also, why is everyone in the lolly? What the hell is going on? Looks like he's critiquing the audience now.
Mr. Obvious says boys heart emoji. And then underneath that, we can see a photo of an underage girl who is pulling anal beads out of her anus using her feet. That's quite the talent.
Oh!
Oh.
Let me line up and get ready, boys. Let me read that all day.
So, that was my appetizer for my upcoming video. Given his inconsistent stories, Mutahar is either lying about his job and business, or he tells really pathetic made-up stories about them to sound more interesting. Once again, I am not a lawyer. It might not be illegal for Mutahar to lie about being an engineer, but by any reasonable definition, he is a total fraud. He has no computer engineering degree, or even a computer science degree, but he still presents himself as an engineer, a computer engineer, or a computer science engineer. He is not trained in this field, and he is not employed at these roles. He is a self-taught hobbyist, a dilettante, not an engineer. Despite admitting that he hasn't been an engineer in years, not that he ever was, he continues to introduce himself as one, letting his audience's imagination run wild and conclude him to be far more qualified than he actually is. It does not matter that he seldom admits to being a former engineer or that he hasn't been an engineer in years. The bigger picture that he's painting to his audience is that he is a licensed, actively practicing engineer, which, based on his own statements, isn't true. And
God damn, this is a real hater watching all those videos. I think he just like scripted it. This dude helped you with your Steam Deck? Bro, he's a Steam Deck engineer. He is. That's a real thing. He did help me with that way back in the day. Listen, guys, as you know, I'm a poli-sci engineer, a political science engineer. And as a political science engineer, I have to say Mutahar did help me with my Steam Deck. And in our private correspondence, he did not say he was a licensed Steam Deck engineer. So did he ever apologize about Gaza? No. Yeah. Just from one engineer to the other, you know, from one scientist to the other, he helped me with that.